the first thing I did was look up who's won it before. I was interested in some of the other people who put some time in and developed baseball around here. And there's just so many good baseball people out here who are doing good work every day. I'm glad to be recognized as one of them.
Welcome to episode 358 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland. Before we get started, on behalf of Ian and I, we just wanted to say thank you. This week's show marks the 7-year anniversary of the podcast, which kind of puts it into perspective for us, as it's one thing to say 358 episodes, it's another to say 7 years. Whether you've listened to every episode or this might just be your first time or any time in between, thank you so much for taking the time to check us out. On the news front this week, let's start off with what a World Series. We have seen a little bit of everything as the Toronto Blue Jays and Los Angeles Dodgers have gone toe-to-toe through 5 games, including an epic pitching matchup in Game 2, an 18-inning marathon in Game 3, and how about Trey Savage in Game 5? The Blue Jays now lead the best-of-7 3-2, heading back to Toronto for Game 6 on Friday, and, if necessary, Game 7 on Saturday. The Baseball Canada Junior National Team's Dominican fall trip wrapped up Wednesday, and Alberta products did their best to turn heads. Tate Thierman, Zach McDonald, Callum Anderson, Cohen Miller, Josh Mills, and Rogan Rivard all earned some accolades from Baseball Canada brass over the last 10 days. We'll be aiming to catch up with a few of the players in the weeks ahead. In the Western Canadian Baseball League, the Fort McMurray Giants have named a new pitching coach. Jose Omar Rosado has worked at several levels of college baseball and has had some success in seeing pitchers get drafted or signed to pro baseball. The Puerto Rico native will take over for Nick Cardinal. One other piece of news from the WCBL over the last couple of weeks, which we missed, is that the Weyburn Beavers will be bringing Cam Williams back as head coach. It'll be his 4th season as bench boss after a solid playing career for the Beavers. Over in the Canadian College Baseball Conference, a curious note of sorts, as the spring circuit has posted on social media that a major announcement is coming November 1st, aka Saturday. No official word or murmurs as we record this episode, but we will be sure to keep you posted on our socials and on next week's show. On the commitment front, Fort McMurray native and AHP Academy product Kaysen Young is going to Clarendon Community College. In Saskatchewan, friend of the show and Going Yard Academy hurler Mitchell Rockman will head to Yavapai College. Meantime, his brother Casey has also signed on the dotted line, although he's going to Southwestern Illinois College. And Munster native and Barry's Academy product Jarrett Rude has committed to Colby Community College. On to this week's guests now, and we'll stay in Saskatchewan as we bring you a trio who were recognized during the recent Baseball Sask Awards. We have a full rundown of the awards up on SaskatchewanDugoutStories.com. Our first guest is the male player of the year. Kane Kaufmann was a strikeout machine with the Regina White Sox of the Saskatchewan Premier League this year, striking out 126 batters in just 65 innings of work to be named the circuit's pitcher of the year. The Martin Academy product then suited up with the Saskatoon Brewers at Western Regionals before joining Team Sask at the Canada Summer Games. He tossed an absolute gem against Alberta, striking out 8 in 5 innings of work to guide the team to a major victory. Kaufmann is known for his competitiveness and for his personality, which was on display when we chatted with him last week. Kane, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Let's start here. Kane Kaufmann, Baseball Sask Male Player of the Year. How does that sound a couple of days after the fact?
It's great. Honestly, it's been helped by a lot of my coaches. It's an honor.
What went through your mind when you first found out?
Just surprised, honestly. I know there's a lot of people who could have won this award, and I was very proud of myself and happy that my coach, Trevor Weir, nominated me. So thanks to him for that. And, yeah.
Looking back on the year that you had, what was working for you? What was really, especially on the mound, like you were on fire from start to finish?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt a lot of pressure towards the start of the year. My team, we had some very unfortunate injuries at the start. We were heading towards a good year, and then 3 of our top guys got injured. So I definitely felt some pressure there. But after I kind of got rid of that, I kind of just did my thing, threw as much as I could, tried to help out my team.
You certainly did that in spades. It was an award-filled year for you as well. You took home the 15U AAA Pitcher of the Year from the SPBL as well. What did that mean to you looking back on it to get that award?
That was awesome. I mean, I kind of had that in my sights for a while now. It was an honor. That was amazing. I was very happy about that.
Looking at the stat line on the year with the White Sox particularly, and like 55 innings and 109 strikeouts, like do you kind of have to look back at that and go, pinch yourself to a certain extent? Because that's a pretty darn good year. That's a couple of Ks an inning kind of thing.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really good year.
You got to play for Sask at the Ray Carter Cup as well this year. What did that mean to you to rep your home province?
Oh man, that was awesome. We have a great group of guys down there. We all love to play with each other. It's something I look forward to every year. It's what I work towards in the off season. It's the best. I love that stuff.
Talk a little bit about that first time that you got to suit up with the green and gold. Like, what's that moment like when you step into the clubhouse or you step into the dugout and there's your jersey, there's your number, that's your swag for the next few days here?
Yeah, it was surreal. It would have been 2023, I think, was the 13U Nationals. That was the first time I would have done it, and it was crazy feeling knowing that I'm representing my province out there. It was awesome.
Is that something that you circle on your calendar to a certain extent now that you've done it a couple times? Like, okay, I have to do this every year, and I've got to keep up in my game to make sure that I am top of mind for the team heading into the next summer?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm going to be working hard this off season, try to get back to Summerside PEI next year, but it's something I look forward to every year. It's awesome.
Speaking of that off season, what's the plan for you now? I know we're holding off Old Man Winter for right now. I mean, you get to do some outside time, but do you got a game plan in play as far as what you want to work on? Maybe some mechanics, maybe some different pitches. What's on your mind?
I'm definitely going to be working hard this whole off season. I've been training with Dustin Mulkin for about 5 years now. We work hard over there. I think I'm really going to try to – I think my command's good. Obviously, I have to work on that, moving up to 60-foot mounds. I'm going to try to work on my changeup. I got to develop a pitch that's good to get lefties out. My breaking ball's in a good spot. I think I'm just going to continue to throw that. And that's kind of what I'm thinking going into this offseason.
Very cool that you get to work with a guy who has had some time in the show and had a pretty prolific pro career as well. What's it like learning from Dustin?
Oh, it's awesome. He's my guy. He's the best. He's really shaped me as a pitcher, and I owe it all to him, really.
Walk us through maybe the most important piece of advice he's given you, or maybe it's an ongoing piece that he keeps reminding you about as you make your way through through your baseball journey.
Yeah, he tells us a lot, but he really lets us be ourselves. He just lets us know just to go out there and do what we do, and he's always proud of us no matter what happens.
Fantastic stuff. Hey, I love getting into the background of the baseball story here, Kane. So take us back to the very beginning. How did you get into baseball in the first place?
I think, as a kid, my parents, I think they kind of played baseball, but my dad was definitely more of a hockey guy. But then my brother kind of got into it, and I think that's what really sparked my love for it. And I think I would have started probably back in 2017, and that was the year that Aaron Judge, who's a rookie, and he was my idol. He's been my idol ever since then. I think that's also what kind of sparked my love for baseball, was just seeing him crushing homers every night. And him and definitely my brother, I think, sparked a love for baseball when I was very young. Were
you that typical little brother that was always hanging around at the ballpark trying to get in on the games that your brother was trying to play?
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely hanging around him, maybe a little too much.
How cool is it to see him taking the next step in his journey and heading over to UBC?
It's awesome. We're all so happy for him. He's having a great time down there. He's doing really good. It's super cool.
Absolutely. Looking back on the young career, any favorite memories or moments that really stand out to you that you're like, yeah, that was pretty cool?
I think my favorite one has to be our first win at the Ray Carter Cup this year against Okotoks. That was the game I pitched. I think it was like 5 innings, no runs, 8 strikeouts or something. It was a heated game until about the 6th, and then we put up 13 runs, I think, in the last 2 innings. And I helped us win that game. That's definitely my favorite memory so far.
It's a pretty good one. Are you a multi-sport guy, or is it all baseball all the time right now for you?
Yeah, definitely now it's baseball. I played hockey up until a couple years ago. I've always liked basketball, but yeah, I'm really just baseball centered.
You mentioned Aaron Judge, your favorite player. Did you have a favorite team growing up? Was it the Yankees, or did you cross allegiances a little bit?
No, definitely the Yankees. I'm actually sitting here in my bedroom, and I've got a life-size portrait of Yankee Stadium on my wall.
So it broke your heart a little bit to see the Blue Jays beat them in the playoffs this year then.
Yeah, I mean, that really sucks, but I think it's really cool what's happening with the Jays right now. It feels like the whole country has sparked a new love for baseball watching them go on this run.
For sure. Looking back on the journey, obviously we know baseball is a game of failure as well, so I'd be remiss if I didn't ask the question, what's been the biggest hurdle or the biggest challenge you've had to overcome so far?
That's a good question. Biggest challenge, I think definitely just trusting myself and my ability, and I think that's definitely what's going to be the toughest challenge this year, moving up to 18U, just knowing that like I'm there for a reason and I could stick with all these guys and just trust myself and my abilities.
You're a product of Martin Academy. What's that program meant to you?
It's Martin's awesome. We're all like a family there. My whole group of guys, we all love each other, and we have very good instruction from Justin Eiswirth, Rob Cherpushchuk. Those two guys are awesome, and they help us so much.
Do you have anything on your bucket list of things to do in the next couple of years? As far as I know, like everybody kind of circles Canadian Future Showcase as an example, or maybe a national tournament, or maybe a U.S. thing. Is there anything that you're like, I want to do that in the next couple of years?
Yeah, definitely Canada Cup is somewhere I want to be, hopefully at least once within the next few years. And that Future Showcase, man, I don't know how that couldn't be on your bucket list. That looks amazing. That's definitely somewhere I want to be.
Absolutely. A couple of fun ones here before we let you go, Kane. First off, when you're at the ballpark as a fan, what's your favorite food?
Oof. Gotta be, if they got a good chicken tenders, I'll definitely have those, but usually just hot dog, probably.
See, the chicken tendies are such an underrated choice, and everybody goes hot dog. And so a tip of the cap to changing it up a little bit and going with the chicken tenders. Yeah. When you're in there and you get a chance to do like the walk-in tune, like let's say you're the closer in a situation, you get your choice of the walk-in tune. What is it?
Oof. Well, my walk-up song for hitting what I've had my whole life is Alejandro Kirk's walk-up song. Do you know what that is?
Okay.
It's kind of become my like signature song around the province, so I'd probably have to go with that one.
That's not a bad one at all. And the final one, when you're on the team bus or you're just chilling around the ballpark and you got something in the earbuds, or maybe you're watching a show, is there something you're binging? Is there something that you got to listen to maybe get you in the zone?
Something I'm listening to. I've really been on a country music kick recently. I kind of used to not like it as much. I kind of went more with rap, but this last summer I've really gotten into country music.
Okay. I find a lot of guys are now like eclectic. Like 1 minute they're listening to Van Halen and the oldies, and then it's rap the next and country the next. So you know what? A little mix never hurt anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two more for you before I let you go, Kane. First off, for those young kids who are just starting out on their baseball journeys and they want to get to where you're at now, they want to be the next Baseball Sask Male Player of the Year, they want to aim for the stars. What's that one piece of advice that you'd love to impart upon them?
Oh, definitely just go out there, have fun, don't take anything too seriously, and try not to compare yourself to others. I think that's a problem a lot of people have around here, or just in general, is comparing themselves to everyone else, whether that's stats, velo, whatever that stuff. Just do what you do and have fun with it.
Absolutely. Final one for you. What's a game of baseball mean to you?
I actually prepared for this question. It's my comfort place. It's where I think I can really express myself and where I can be most competitive and also just be relaxed and be myself.
I like when guys come in prepared for interviews. That you've done your homework. Well done, young man. Kane, congrats again on the award, on all the success you've had at this point. Continued success in 2026. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
That was Baseball Sask Male Player of the Year Kane Kaufmann. The Junior Male Player of the Year was Lucas Lind of Moose Jaw. On the female side, Taylor Schweller picked up Player of the Year honors, while the Junior Player of the Year was fellow Saskatoon native Rylee Lenius. She was a big piece of the puzzle for the 13U AA Royal 64s as they captured the city championship, then won silver at provincials. Lenius was then invited to the Baseball Sask 14U team that won bronze at Westerns, showing she has a bright future in the game with her abilities and her positive attitude. Rylee, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Rylee Lenius, 2025 Baseball Sask Female Minor Player of the Year. How does that sound now that you've had a couple of weeks to soak it all in?
Oh, it feels so good. It still sounds crazy whenever someone asks me about it.
What went through your mind when you first found out?
Well, I was in Regina last year when I watched my teammate Ava Hill accept the award, so I knew from that moment that I needed to put in the work if I wanted the same success. So my dad called me when I was at school, and I could not have been more happy. He said he could hear my smile through the phone.
That is so cool. So when you go up to accept the award and that, like, was it kind of almost an out-of-body experience? Like, holy crap, this is actually happening kind of thing.
Yeah, I was shaking, and my friends have it on video. My lips were quivering, and I, ran up on the stage because I was so nervous.
At the same time, it has to be pretty cool to be the inspiration and be the motivation for a lot of younger athletes in attendance too. What did that mean to you to be able to show, like you said, Ava won it last year and you kind of set your sights for that, and now you might be doing that for somebody else?
Yeah, it feels so good. A bunch of the younger siblings were there, and the whole time I was just thinking, this could be them in a couple of years. And they were so excited for me.
I can only imagine. Looking back on the year that you had, what was working for you that allowed you to have the success that you did?
Mostly just team effort. We had really good coaches, but the team worked so well together. And, no one halved it. Everyone had a good attitude about it, about their playing time. And just an overall really good season.
Sounds like you were all having a lot of fun this year, too. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
That's always a staple for that team. It sounds like you got to, when you look back on the year that you had, any favorite moments or highlights that you maybe had to take that step back and go, I can't believe I get to do this?
Our highlights of the season were definitely winning our Saskatoon tournament, being the only girls team in it, having a very successful league games, winning our city finals in a walk-off win, and winning silver in provincials.
Just a couple of highlights, I would say. Not only that, you also repped Sask at the 14U championships for the second time. What did that mean to you to be able to put on the green and gold of Sask?
It did mean a lot. I was very excited the first year I made it, and it was definitely a big learning curve playing against the best female players in Western Canada. We unfortunately lost the bronze medal game in tough extra innings last year, but this year I had a better handle on the efforts it would take to be successful, and we came away with a bronze medal.
That's awesome. So when you look back on it, especially as being, I'll call it the grizzled veteran, quote unquote, of that tournament, you had a couple of younger girls on the team too. Were you imparting kind of words of wisdom, or what were you saying to them to kind of allow them to get their feet under them, kind of like you did last year?
Yeah, I was trying my best to be a leader on the team, as there was only 2 or 3 returning players. So we had 2 11-year-olds on the team. So after every game, I would pull all of the girls in, and we'd kind of have a conversation about, if we had a bad game, how we need to improve our attitudes, and how we need to improve our playing.
I like asking this of athletes when they get to rep their province for the first time. Do you remember that moment when you walked into, whether it's the clubhouse or whether it's into the dugout for the first time, and you see your jersey, you see your hat, you see that green swag? What goes through your mind? How emotional is it to go, hey, I am getting to play for my province?
I was very scared. I was more so nervous about how all the games would go, and how fast the pitching would be. Very proud.
But you managed to get through it and play well enough to get invited for a second time around. And obviously, the goal is to do it again in 2026 and beyond. How excited are you for the future and getting the chance to do that again? Maybe next year, maybe at 16 U's, maybe at 19 U's, depending on how the cards fall.
Yes, I'm very excited. My sister played in the Year Canada games this year, so I got to watch her experience that and a bunch of my friends, so hoping I could do the same.
Absolutely. I love getting a chance to look at the journey and how you got into baseball in the first place kind of thing. You're originally from Saskatoon, so what was it about the game that really drew you in, and who maybe introduced you to the game in the first place?
So about 11 years ago, my dad started the Royals League, which is an all-girls baseball league that plays against the boys in Saskatoon. So I grew up around the diamond, going to my sister's games and tournaments.
Are you a multi-sport athlete, or are you all baseball all the time?
I do baseball majority of the time, but I am on the U15 AA Comet Impact.
Fantastic. Looking at the baseball side of things, who is your idol?
Mostly my coach, Nora Hutchison. She's been a big impact in my life, as we're family friends, and she played on the 16U, 19U, and 21U team.
You mentioned your sister as well. How much of an inspiration is she for you? And how is the sibling rivalry in the house beyond that, especially being two ball players like you are?
Yeah, she comes to some of our Sask practices, so it's always nice to hit off of her pitching and striking her out.
Looking back on the young career to this point, you've had a lot of, you mentioned even this year, a lot of highs. Do you have a favorite moment on the field to this point throughout your entire career you look back on and go, this is pretty cool?
During Sask, most of the time, getting to play against all of the teams, especially this year, me and one of my teammates, Hadley Hollick, did something called Extra Innings, where we did an interview with the players of the game and posted it on social media. So just getting to bond with all of the girls from the different provinces, that was really cool.
For sure. On the flip side, we all know baseball is a game of failure. So what's that one thing or that biggest challenge or that biggest hurdle that you've had to overcome that you're super proud of yourself for being able to do?
Honestly, probably just being a girl. As a female athlete, we're trying to prove that we belong, and we play as good as the boys, if not better. So we still go to tournaments, and people are shocked that there's an all-girls team, and they make comments like they even throw like the boys, or are they a softball team?
Mm-hmm. I love looking ahead into the future as well, and whether it be Baseball Canada and the national women's team as an example, or we know next year the Women's Pro Baseball League starting up. I know you're a few years away from that still, but how excited are you for the potential of seeing that league come to fruition or getting that opportunity to maybe rep the Maple Leaf one day?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of other Royals girls do it, and I'm just hoping and trying my hardest to keep my skill improving to hopefully get the honor of repping that.
Absolutely. A few fun ones before we let you go, Rylee. First off, what's your favorite food when you're there as a fan at the ballpark?
When I'm at my sister's games, I usually stop and get a Slurpee before, or if I'm at a Berries game, I like their nachos.
I've heard good things about the Berries nachos. I wouldn't say they have berries on them, but it's still pretty good. What's your walk-up tune?
Sweet Escape, probably. I like that one.
That's a good one, too. And on the team bus, what's your go-to activity?
Playing cards. We play garbage lots of the time, and just karaoke.
That would be some kind of road trip, I got to tell you. A couple more before we let you go here, Rylee. First off, for those young girls or those young athletes who are just starting out on their baseball careers and they want to be like you one day, they want to be the next female minor player of the year, or they want to rep Sask, what's that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom that you like to impart upon them?
Stick with it. It's a fun game. You make so many friends with it. There's opportunities growing every year. Sask offers a 14U, 16U, 19U, and 21U team, and that professional women's league starting up soon. So if you get your reps in and you work hard, you can achieve those.
That is some fantastic advice. Final question for you. It's one we ask everybody here on the show. What does the game of baseball mean to you, Rylee?
It means not just building skill and showing off, but more so about friendship and building those connections.
We're so glad that we've been able to build a connection with you, Rylee, here on the show, and hopefully we get to do it again in the not-too-distant future as well. Congratulations on the Baseball Sask Award and on an outstanding 2025 season. Continued success in 2026 and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you so much.
And we'll wrap things up this week with the Baseball Sask Builder of the Year. Martin Academy's Justin Eiswirth breathes baseball in Regina. A former player in the city ranks, he would also represent the province at a few major events before going on to college. Eiswirth came back home to coach after his playing career was done, with several teams including the Regina Dusters. While he doesn't do it for the accolades, he's clearly humbled by the recognition.
Justin, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Hey, good morning, Joe. How are you?
Fantastic. Not as good, though, as someone who has just been named the 2025 Baseball Sask Builder of the Year. How does that sound now that you've had a couple of days to kind of look back on what happened over this past weekend?
I feel honored. I know there's lots of people in this province who are doing awesome work, and in Western Canada, you included. But it is sure nice to get recognized. I know that there's a lot of people that went into the award as well. I mean, just coming from sort of a baseball family and the things my dad has done in this city, and my partner at Martin Academy, Rob Cherapuschuk, and the things he's done for baseball in Saskatchewan. I definitely owe a lot to them, but yeah, it sure was a nice weekend, and got some family there to share the award with me. And actually, my son was playing hockey in Saskatoon too, so we all got to do a bunch of stuff together this weekend.
Well, that is fantastic. Take us back to the moment when you first found out. What goes through your mind when they're telling you, "Hey, you're going to get this award"?
The first thing I did was look up who's won it before. I was interested in some of the other people who had put some time in and developed baseball around here. But I was honored, like I said, and I look forward to getting recognized. But again, I know this morning I was already out at the Affinity Plex here in Regina with our grade 9s, and I'm doing some baseball stuff, and I was working with Chris Unterreiner from RBI, and there's just so many good baseball people out here who are doing good work every day, and I'm glad to be recognized as one of them.
And you've been involved in the game for a long time in Regina. I mean, you played there, you've coached there, you've done kind of it all there. What's kept you driven all these years to keep doing what you do?
That's a great question. I say to my wife, Anne, who also is a huge support to me, but it just moves me. Like and I say that to the athletes at Martin too. You got to find something that makes you move your feet. And baseball, I'm happy to get out and get a field ready by myself. Like I enjoy that type of thing, and definitely things that me and my family did growing up, just like traveling to the Jays games and always having it on and things like that. But I'm obviously going from a local coach to a Martin Academy baseball instructor, and now my son is entering his second year of 13U baseball here next year. So that helps keep me motivated too, is to keep improving the facilities and the baseball for people like him and his friends who love baseball.
I know the journey isn't over by any stretch of the imagination, but I am curious, as someone who's been building the game, what are you most proud of so far in this journey?
I think I'm most proud of just the recognition that baseball in Regina is starting to get. I know that when I was 12 or 13, a guy by the name of Morgan Ryder started inside pitch in Regina. He had just finished playing for the Regina Cyclones, and he was staking around, and I was one of his first clients as a young pitcher. And just thinking back to the facilities that we threw at as when I was in high school, and then where we are now, just how we have access to people like Dustin Mulliken and RBI and Martin Academy and Inside Pitch, and how baseball is growing in Regina, and even just talk of the Regina Pats group purchasing the Regina Red Sox, and sort of bringing that more into the public eye. I just think baseball is at the front of people's mind, and I don't think that was always the case. And I think I'm really proud to just be a small part of that.
Mm-hmm. you mentioned the evolution of the game in Regina since you were a wee lad to now what it's been. What do you think has been key in that evolution as somebody on the ground floor? What's allowed maybe baseball in the city to become what it is becoming?
I'm sure it's lots of different things. One is just the people. Like, we're lucky to have people that push things. I know that I sit on the Baseball Regina board, and I'm constantly arguing for we need to put more money into our facilities and things like that. People that have played sort of in the United States or elsewhere where they've seen what real baseball facilities look like, whether that's training centers or fields themselves. So I think that's part of it. But also just sport in general. I think there's a hunger, there's a need for young people to have access to high quality training, not just in baseball but everywhere. And that's a credit to people seeing the value of kids building their confidence when they're young and playing sports when they're young, and then having access to that training in the off season. So I think it's a lot of things, but mostly people pushing it, and then the parents wanting to have access to high quality instructors.
One of those places they're getting that from, obviously, you mentioned it, Martin Academy. It's been a decade plus now that you've been there. What's that program meant to you, being able to be on the ground floor and seeing some of these young kids enter and then leave as, aspiring college players and beyond now?
Right. I mean, Rob Terapusik and I at Martin started the Baseball Academy in 2014. So yeah, now we're into year 12. I mean, it's just, it's a one-of-a-kind program in that these athletes get access to baseball training during their school day. So if they're interested in baseball, I had my grade 9s out this morning for 2 hours, and I'm going to have grade 11s out this afternoon while Rob is training our grade 10s and grade 12s at another great facility. So just to see Martin Academy go from, wow, I hope we get one or two baseball athletes back in 2014 to we're 80 strong. We've got alumni that have been drafted. We've got alumni that are playing and graduated from D1 programs and other college baseball programs, and we've got alumni that stayed home and are really great contributors to this city because they had access to a high quality education and they were interested in baseball. And I think just the Martin Academy brand, I mean, it's grown so much over the last 12 years, and really happy to be a small part of it.
How cool is it to see the giving back piece? Well, you mentioned the athletes who are coming back and trying to give back, and I'm a big believer in if you can see it, you can be it. They're the ones that are actually kind of driving that point forward to a lot of those kids that are in grades 9 to 12 saying, hey, you know what, if you really want to chase this thing, the opportunity's right on your doorstep.
Oh, and Rob and I we try and do as good of a job as we can of showing that to our current high school students. Our alumni, they end up coming back and hanging out during some of our traditions, during our Winter Wiffle Ball Classic before Christmas break, and our senior luncheon sort of towards the end of the year. We have a really nice alumni wall at our facility where guys get to kind of scan it and see, this guy went here, and Thomas Ireland was drafted by the Texas Rangers. He went to Martin Academy, and it's great for them to have somebody to look up to, and just the turnover we've had through our program. The guys are really proud to wear that M and then come back and share their experiences with the current students.
It's funny you mentioned the Red Sox, and you had a couple of guys, I think, that were on the championship-winning roster this year. What do you think something like that does for not just your program, but baseball in Regina, to be able to see, at the ground level, these guys going and winning a Western Canadian Baseball League championship?
I mean, everything helps. Like it's not a battle against hockey. I don't want to say that, but it is. We are still a hockey city and a hockey province, and some of our best athletes, I think, need to realize that baseball is such a great such a great option, not only for their youth, but the next level of baseball is college baseball, right? And I think that's such a huge part of getting your education. So just watching, Brady Bai was a graduate of Martin Academy, and he was a huge part of their runs. And Rudy Sanger, a reliever, actually got a spot start there in the league championship series, was a graduate. And I know that there's lots of others, and even the Blue Jays run this year does nothing but help engage people in baseball. I know when the Jays were in 2015, 2016, there's a group of young grade 9s and 10s in my program who fell in love with baseball then, 10 years ago. So, every little bit helps, and we're going to keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. Onwards and upwards indeed. When you look ahead to, say, maybe the next 10 years, what's key to keep things rolling the way they have been in Regina and in Saskatchewan as a whole?
I think continuing to be forward-thinking. I know that there's some people in leadership spots in baseball, whether that's Baseball Sask, Baseball Canada, Baseball Regina, who know we can't stay status quo. That our facilities do continue to need work. That our fields need some ownership when it comes to our coaches and our players, realizing that that's what they get to play on, and they need to not come expecting it to be ready, and they need to put some work in to make sure it's nice. I stole this saying from Rob Cherepishuk, my teaching partner, but he says our students, they take their skates off on heated floors at the Cooperator Center here in Regina, and that's the level of facility we need to aspire to in this city if we want to keep these guys and gals engaged in baseball. So I think keep being forward thinking, keep pushing the facilities, and obviously we've got awesome people in this city developing athletes all the time.
Could not agree more. A couple more for you before we let you go, Justin. First off, for those young athletes who are just starting out on their baseball journeys and they're entering your program, or maybe there's some of the older ones who are like, oh man, I don't know. What's that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom you want to impart upon them to make sure that they're getting the most out of the opportunity they're being presented?
Just remember what moves you. Why are you there? If it's something that you love, that you think about when you're not doing it, that's probably something you should pay attention to. I know that I say this to our athletes at school all the time. Hey, it's cool to be smart, right? It's part of being an athlete is taking care of things in the classroom, and not just taking care of it, but excelling there, right? Excelling as a student and as a person in your city, so you can keep giving back and make it better for everybody.
Fantastic stuff. Final one. It's the one we ask everybody here on the show here, Justin. What's the game of baseball mean to you?
Oh, and the number of memories I've gotten and the number of relationships that I've built over the years. I can think of my time in California. I can think of my time with the Red Sox. I can think of my time as an inside pitch instructor or at Martin Academy. But like, baseball is just about people. Like, it's about the people I've gotten to know, the friends I have that I haven't talked to in 10, 15, 20 years, that I could call up as soon as we're done here, Joe, and have a similar conversation, right? Like, we haven't left, and I owe all of those relationships to baseball.
We owe you a debt of gratitude for taking some time on what I'm sure is a busy Monday to talk a little shop about baseball. And, of course, the Baseball Sask Builder of the Year Award. Justin, congratulations again on that. Congrats on all the success to this point, continued success in 2026 and beyond. And, again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Hey, thank you, and thank you for pushing baseball. I love your guys' social media. Great stuff, Joe.
Thanks again to Kane Kaufmann, Rylee Lenius, and Justin Eiswirth for joining us this week. And again, congratulations to all of the winners of the recent Baseball Sask Awards. Head to SaskatchewanDugoutStories.com for our full rundown of this year's recipients. Thanks to all of you as well for stopping by to check out the pod. If you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe and leave a rating and review as well. Those actions, of course, help spread the word about the show. As always, a tip of the cap to our platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs, Under the Light Sports and Entertainment and the Western Canadian Baseball League for their continued generosity in helping us tell the game stories in our province. And we also want to give a massive shout out to all who support us at Saskatchewan Dugout Stories, including our gold supporters, the WCBL Dogs and Dogs Academy, as well as Going Yard Academy. If you'd like to join our roster there, head to saskatchewandugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta and Saskatchewan Dugout Stories.